Hi, I'm Bry Cox with BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. Today, I want to talk about what excites you in your business and what are you doing about it? What are you doing to share that excitement with others? Really quickly, keep in mind, I have full courses on lighting, on workflow, on video production, and even on sales, all on my website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCox Workshops.com. All right, so really quickly, I've been planning a workshop with a really famous fashion photographer, and in kind of prep for that, I thought I need more fashion samples kind of on hand. But really the other thing is, the name of my studio has always been Celebrity Style Imaging, BryCox Celebrity Style Imaging. And the reason I call it Celebrity Style Imaging is because years ago, before digital, right, I would do a lot of VIP people, and I mean, I still do, but even back then, it was hard to be kind of unique and creative, but I was that young guy that people saw as unique and creative in photography that still had some classic appeal. So images need a classic appeal if they want to spend money on them, particularly like, let's say it's kind of someone famous, or maybe it's a family portrait, right? It's got to kind of not be just trendy. It's got to have a classic appeal. That's the best word I can come up for it. But at the same time, you don't want an image to be boring. And when I was getting all the various celebrities calling me, they would always say things like, "We like your work because one, we know because one of your credentials and all that, we know we're going to get something great. We don't have to shoot a gazillion images. We're going to get something great, quick and fast. But two, your images are really creative and they're awesome." And so I kept thinking, how do I brand that? I can't call it fashion photography. It doesn't really appeal, I guess, to families and things like that. And I kind of came up with Celebrity Style Imaging. I trademarked it, and that's basically the name of my studio because I'm taking that creative, I'm taking the classical ideas, I'm mixing them together and making something that's, I think, a lot more interesting, more of like a magazine style shoot. And I apply it to kids, I apply it to high school seniors especially. I can even go further on the creative end. Families, it's not just a boring family, it's a really beautiful family. So for me, what excites me are really interesting images with more of like that fashion approach. And I've been thinking lately about how do I show people images when people say, "What do you do for a living?" And I go, "I'm a photographer." And they go, "What do you do?" And then blah, blah, blah. And normally what I do is I pull my phone out because I want them to see some images. And I used to carry an iPad. Before an iPad, I carried my little smaller phone. And before that, I actually bought the first little iPad or iPod Touch, simply because it was unique and it gave me the ability to put images on a portfolio on this little device in my pocket before the iPhones came out. And I could be at a dinner or a gala and people would say, "What do you do for a living?" And I pull this out and say, "I'm a photographer," and they could flip through it and they could touch the images and it was like super unique. Well, guess what? iPhones aren't that unique anymore. Everybody has iPhones and everybody goes, "Here's what I do for a living." And I don't want to overwhelm people and say, "Here's a bunch of images, look at them." But at the same time, I want people to see what I do and know that it's different from every photographer that they know. So what have I done lately? My new thing is I have come up with some little books. And these are some of the ones I just finished this week. And they fit really beautifully. I've got like a little bag that they go in. And they fit perfectly here into my briefcase. And I may have this briefcase all the time, and guess what? They fit in here perfectly. If I'm at church, wherever, some kind of a meeting, or just anywhere, maybe I'm at a convention, and I'm talking to a supplier who's thinking about sponsoring me, or sending me some lights for a next workshop or something, and they go, "Well, what kind of work do you do?" Instead of pulling out my phone and being normal, this is completely unique, right? Because now they are physical prints. And I can tell, if people want to ask, I can say, yeah, this was for a cover of a magazine. I can tell stories about things. And every single photograph is full size, full frame, no edges, no anything. It's just big, big prints all the way through. And I've created a couple books, and each book has got like 60 images in it. So just a lot of variety from a lot of shoots that I think are very creative, very unique, and just a completely different way of showing photographs, I think, than pulling out your phone. So think about yourself. What do you do? What of all the kind of things you like to photograph, what excites you the most? And second of all, how are you presenting that to clients? How do people know that you're excited about photographs? Me, I like to sell physical products. So when I like to show actual physical products, and if I'm out on the road or I'm meeting with somebody, man, handing them a book and they're like, oh, you're a professional. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm a professional. It changes everything. And they go, oh, you have something, you have like a card or something. Of course I do. Right here in the back of my bag, I've got, not just a card, like a little business card, but I've got little postcards with my name, phone number, and a little variety of some photo shoots. So there you go. What excites you about photography, and how are you presenting your work to absolute perfect strangers anywhere you go? Let me know, and check out some of my full courses on my website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. All right, until next time, America, and subscribe.